Donald Trump did something in a few days, really a few hours, that you black American house niggas couldn't do in 400 years. In Washington, D.C., Donald Trump was able to get homeless black people off the streets. You black Americans, you could not do that in 400 years. In the 400 years that you've been over here. But yet, I see you all on videos bragging about how educated you are. Some of you black women especially is bragging about all the degrees you have. But yet, you black American house niggas could not get black people off the street. Donald Trump comes along and pretty much overnight he does this. And I got to thinking about this. You all would go to the federal government asking for everything. Food stamps, WIC, EBT, reparations. But when I got to thinking, you never ask the federal government for help with getting black people, homeless black people off the streets. Now I'm talking about your neighborhood, because where he did this is a predominant black area. There might have been some other, or a few, non-black people thrown into that. But most of the people in that area who were homeless were black people. You would ask the federal government for everything else, but you never ask the federal government to come get your homeless off the street. And you never ask the federal government to help you with the crime in your neighborhood. And I personally believe that it's not that no one thought about it. Some of you did. You just didn't care. If you would go to the federal government asking for things like reparations, you could have gone to the federal government and asked them to help you get your homeless off the street and help you to clean up the crime in the neighborhood in Washington, D.C. But you all didn't do any of that because you really didn't care. You had Black Wall Street, and you ran that into the ground. You had Detroit, and you ran that into the ground. You had Harlem, and you ran that into the ground. and you had Washington, D.C., and you ran that into the ground. Do you understand why I call you house niggas? Because the house nigger really doesn't care about a successful black anything. And when I look at you guys, that idea really stands out. The President of the United States always has an open door policy. And some of you know that you could have gone to him about any problems you are having in the Washington, D.C. neighborhood, and the president would have helped you. But you didn't do any of that because you really didn't care. Now some of you is on social media and you're acting like it's not going on. You're acting like he really isn't doing anything. And I'm wondering why you keep ignoring this. Now he's doing the same thing in Chicago that he did and is doing in Washington, D.C. The same thing. And still, I don't hear anything from you. Instead, you're on social media talking about a group of black people in Scotland. Donald Trump is making moves and he's getting black people off the streets in America. Instead of talking about that, you guys are on TikTok talking about a group of black people in Scotland, completely ignoring that Donald Trump is doing what black people should have done a long time ago. Now I'm wondering if that's just a coincidence, because this thing with Scotland started about the same time, I believe, when Donald Trump started talking about bringing the National Guard into Washington, D.C. So I'm wondering if there is some kind of a connection between talking about Scottish people in Europe, Scottish black people in Europe, and what Donald Trump is doing. Because it seems like you guys is hell-bent on just ignoring the fact that he's doing what you should have done a long time ago.